Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today I'm going to be giving you kind of a follow-up to the ongoing saga that is my new house. I'm going to do my makeup while we're talking about it, so I'm not going to talk a ton about what I'm using, but I am going to be using this right here. My son actually gifted this to me for my birthday because, yes, during this time I did have a birthday. I turned 41, so there was that. But if you are new, welcome, first of all, and you don't know really what I'm talking about, I moved into a new house 19 days ago. So my husband and I actually contracted to have this house built, and we started this process back in September of 2021 and then actually moved in on June the 6th. We are very excited about this house, and I do absolutely want to say thank you to everybody who watched that video and who commented. I really appreciate every single one of you. And I do want to be very clear. We are very excited and very happy with this house as, you know, a whole. It is a beautiful house and we are very grateful to be here. But also, if you've seen that video, you know there have been some issues. There have been some issues we have had in the 19 days that we've been in this house. 2 floods. So there's been kind of a lot going on, and I just wanted to give you an update on round 2 of that. So when we spoke before, we had had a plumber come out and they looked in the drain in the master bathroom, and there was grout that had been put down the toilet. And there was grout in that bathroom and then the other downstairs bathroom in this house. So the plumber had pulled out the grout that was in the drains, and we were under the impression that that is what was causing all of these issues and the original flood that compromised the master bathroom, the master bedroom, the master closet, and the laundry room, which also shares a wall. So they went in and replaced all of the carpet and the vinyl flooring in those respective rooms, and we thought everything was good to go. It wasn't. On Sunday, which was Father's Day, we had another flood, and so we had to call basically everybody back out and, you know, be like, okay, what's going on? We thought we had all of this handled. You guys went through and replaced everything. We have a 1-year warranty on this house, and we've been working with our warranty rep, who has been really, really great throughout this process. And we're very, very, very grateful for that. The fact that we have the warranty, that we have somebody that we can work with directly. Because if we were trying to navigate this all on our own, I don't know how we would do it. I really don't know how we would do it, because this has been so far outside of what my husband and I have ever dealt with. So we're very, very happy that we have somebody that we can, you know, lean on, who has been coordinating the plumbers and the remediation team and all of the replacement of the floors and the baseboards and the drywall and all that kind of stuff. So we're very, very grateful for that. So we had another plumber come out on Sunday and then again on Monday to try to figure out what was going on in these drains, because clearly it had not been resolved the first time with the first plumber. So they came out on Tuesday and they did where they run a camera down the drains, which I thought we had done the first time, and I found out that we did. However, that plumber, the battery on his little scope thing died during this process. So he found the grout and didn't really go any further, and then the camera died and the batteries died, and so he just assumed that that was the issue. So this new plumber that came out on Tuesday and scoped with his camera found some very, very, very interesting things in our drains. He found more grout, because apparently the company that did the tile in the house just put grout down the drains. I don't really understand why. Like, that whole part of it doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what they did. So the new plumber found more grout in there, but a little bit further, he found someone's folding knife. Yes, yes, there was a knife in our pipes, basically, and it was going kind of like long ways. It was kind of across the pipes. So when they ran all their tests and everything, when they were building the house, and when, you know, we came to do final walkthrough and inspection and everything, you know, because we turned on the water and flushed toilets and, you know, did all those things, and it seemed like everything was running properly because it was just water. It was just water. So of course it was passing the grout that was built up in the pipes, and it was passing a folding knife. So that it was passing everything just fine. But then once we moved into the house and started using things normally, like the dishwasher, the kitchen sink, the toilets, you know, once we started using all of those things, then the solids, you know what I'm talking about, the solids that are going down those respective drains start catching on the grout, start catching on this knife and creating a blockage. So when the first plumber came out and, you know, put the little auger thing down there and pulled up all the grout that he had seen, water started passing normally, because by then whatever he had been doing was enough to kind of force some of the pressure off of everything that was hung up against this knife. At least this is my assumption. So then we try to go back to normal, start using all of our sinks and drains and toilets the way that you normally would, and then it re-blocked up, and that's what caused the second flood. So it was wild watching the little monitor when he was putting the scope down our drain and seeing this person's folding knife, and it was very surreal. I can't use any other word. It was very surreal watching all of this, because that's just not something that you expect to see down your drain. So he was like, well, I can't get to it. It's pushed far enough back, because, you know, with everything that was going on and the additional plumbing work that we'd done during this time and just, you know, normal stuff, it had pushed this knife further and further and deeper into the drain system. And he was like, well, I can't get to it where it is now, so we're gonna have to like rig something up. So his hope had been that he could attach a magnet to the camera thing that they put down there and try to, you know, like basically, you know, the fishing game, the go fishing game that you played as a kid where you used the magnet to snag a fish? That was kind of his thinking there. So he left for the day. We were, again, not allowed to use any of our sinks and toilets and stuff. Well, I take that back. There was one that we could use that had the least amount of obstruction and the most amount of drainage out to like the street level or the sewers or whatever. So we had access to that toilet. So he came back the next day with some sort of rig up to try to snag this folding knife, only to find out that it's made of plastic. So the magnet, unless it was catching onto the blade itself, wasn't really gonna do what we wanted it to do. So he tried to then like press it further so that he could try to get to it from the laundry room. So he took like the toilet off of the base and went in and pulled up the drain where the washer machine would go, because again, those two rooms share a wall. And he and his, I think it's his son that works with him, were just hoping that they could get it pushed to a point where they could grab hold of it and, you know, get it out of our drain, because otherwise they were going to have to start tearing up our floor in the hallway between our like dining room area. You walk down a little hallway, you get to a garage door, and then you get to the laundry room. They were gonna have to start tearing up that flooring because it was already far enough back from the master bathroom that they wouldn't have been able to get to it from there. So that whole prospect did not sound appealing. I mean, it's something that would have needed to be done, but it definitely didn't sound appealing. I mean, we've already been in this house for as long as we have with, you know, demo and all kinds of stuff, to then have to rip up that entryway area did not feel nice. Did not feel nice. So he spent a good part of the day trying to get it to a place where he could get to it, and I'm very happy to report that he was able to. So he was able to get this folding knife out of our drains, and I do have a picture. I'll make sure to pop it up. We took a picture of it with my husband's foot next to it just for size after they pulled it out, because I was just like, that is so wild. That is so wild. I cannot even believe that this is real life right now. So I am very, very, very thankful that they were able to get that out of our drain, because that is just so problematic. I mean, so problematic. So that is, fingers crossed, the last of the actual plumbing issues that we had. So they put the camera down the drains in our bathroom and the downstairs bathroom as well. They didn't put any cameras down any of the upstairs bathrooms, so hopefully there are no issues in any of those, because I just don't know that I have the stomach to go through this a third time. But fingers crossed, they have everything taken care of from that regard. Sorry, there's like a little dry piece from the tube. There we go. So yeah, hopefully we have everything taken care of from that regard. But now comes the rest of the process. So when this happened the first time, we got really lucky in that the carpet and vinyl that go in the bedroom, closet, and laundry room, the warranty guy was able to find it being used at another home site and could basically take it from them in a way that wouldn't cause delays on those people's houses. So they could do kind of a switcheroo, so to speak. We could get it for use in our house. They could order it and then not delay anybody else. So that was really, really great. However, we did not get so lucky this time around. So they're having to reorder all of our flooring. And one of the areas, I guess if there's any part of this that I've been not quite as happy with kind of the process, it comes to the tile in our bathroom. So that master bathroom, we really had to press very hard to get that replaced, which I don't love that we had to do that, because I feel like that should be a bit of a no-brainer. I mean, we had toilet water, compromised toilet water. We had poop water. We had poop water. We'll just call it what it is. We had poop water flowing underneath our tile into the carpeted areas. It was coming from underneath the floor. It wasn't like an overflow issue or something like that. It was coming from underneath the floor. And so the fact that we had to press so hard to get them to replace the tile, which honestly, in my opinion, should have been replaced with the first round of flooding, because they've had the fans and the dehumidifiers going in that bathroom since Monday, and it is now Saturday the 25th. I don't feel like we should have had to press that hard to get them to pull out that tile and replace it, because it's compromised, in my opinion. I am not a plumber. I don't know anything about anything, but what I don't want to happen is mold. Like, I don't want toilet water to be causing mold underneath my floor, which could then have, you know, health ramifications for me, for my husband, for my children. No, not happy about that. So in the end, we are going to be getting that replaced. So I'm happy about that. I'm just not happy that it took a lot of pressing, because even the remediation guys, because we had the same company both times, they were like, I mean, in our opinion, you know, we can't make these choices for you guys, but, you know, based on what we've seen and in our opinion, that tile needs to go. So in the end, we were able to get that done. Oh, what I was saying is that the tile is still reading as wet. So all of this happened on the 19th. They brought in the fans and dehumidifiers on the 20th. It's now the 25th, and the tile is still reading as wet underneath. So, I mean, there's just no, in my opinion, no reason that that should have even been a conversation. But in the end, we are getting it replaced, which I'm extremely grateful, because if you saw my last video where I was kind of talking about all this, mold is a serious concern for me. So knowing that we're going to have all new tile, all new carpet, all new pad, we're going to have new vinyl again in the laundry room, that makes me feel a lot more confident that we're not going to have an issue, hopefully, cropping up from this, you know, a couple of years down the line when our warranty will have expired. And, you know, things like mold can lead to serious health risks in children, especially things like asthma and stuff like that. That is just not something I want to mess around with. So demo is going to start on that on Monday. So they're going to start pulling out all the tile and getting that broken up and, you know, all that needs to be done there. The problem is that we don't have an ETA as far as when all of these materials for these different rooms are going to be coming in. So I have no idea when we're going to get these rooms of our house in a usable place, which is definitely a bummer. I recognize that we got really lucky the first time around, in the sense that, you know, they were able to get all of those things for us so quickly. It's just a bummer that, you know, it wasn't actually fixed. Although, again, in kind of hindsight, I guess, trying to look for the positive any place that I can find it, the fact that they didn't replace the tile in that bathroom after the first flood, you know, I guess maybe if we're looking for something positive to come out of this, it's that that tile is going to now be replaced. So we'll go with that as far as looking for the positives in a situation that is not all that positive. So I don't know when that's going to be finished. Our house is still, as far as like an unpacking perspective, is still just nowhere even close, because, you know, we don't have any place to put a lot of stuff, you know, anything that is, you know, our clothes or anything that would go in our bathroom, for example, you know, all that's just stacked up in our dining room. I did order a table for our kitchen, which should be here in the early part of July, so we can stop eating off of a card table, which in and of itself isn't too terrible, because the table that I ordered isn't going to be significantly larger, but it's going to have more weight to it, because right now my kids have realized how light the card table is and find it to be super fun to like shove it into each other. That's like the big game, is shoving the table into each other while we're trying to eat. So that is, that's super fun. So at least then, you know, we'll have, you know, a little bit more stability. I was really hoping Sorry, I've got something itching on my nose. I was really hoping that we could shop some of the 4th of July sales to get like an actual dining room table because we've never had one of those before. So I would still like to, but since we don't know when we're going to have access to that room, don't know, you know, where we would put it for the minute, but we're going to be looking at that and, you know, hoping for the best there. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I had wanted to film a kind of unpacking of all of my makeup. I didn't because things have just been so freaking wild. And I'll be honest, I'm glad that I didn't try because I have no idea where to put all of this. Oh my goodness gracious. So in my old office, a lot of my stuff was in drawers. So my eyeshadow palettes, for example, were all in drawers. And I decided in this house that I didn't want to do that because what it means is that I have a very out of sight, out of mind kind of thing going on in here. I have forgotten about a lot of the palettes that I own, not just eyeshadow palettes, but also, and probably more prominently, things like face palettes, because at least with the eyeshadow palettes, I'm doing the No Palette Left Behind challenge on Instagram. So I have all of them on some graph paper, and every time I use one, I, you know, fill in the square, and it's honestly so satisfying. It is such a satisfying project, and I really enjoy it, but I don't have any of my face palettes on there, and man, not even just when I was packing, but more so when I was unpacking, it was just like an endless stream of, oh my gosh, where am I gonna put all of this? So it has taken quite a few days, and it's still not exactly the way that I want it, and there are still things that I'm not exactly sure where I want to put and stuff like that. So I am very glad that I didn't end up filming that because it would have been impossible to edit. However, once I have everything put away and where I need it to be and all that kind of stuff, I think I will do kind of an office tour so that you guys can see the setup here and kind of see what's going on. But it's certainly very different than it was in my previous office, and I'm glad for that because I am always going to be someone who owns a lot of makeup. I love makeup. It is definitely, you know, a hobby for me and something that I very much enjoy, but I don't like being someone who has forgotten about what I have. Like, that's ridiculous, man. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I think by having it out and kind of more accessible, it can hopefully help me from, you know, buying as much. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely have done some emotional shopping. I've definitely done some emotional shopping. As I mentioned, my birthday was a couple of weeks ago, so I did get gifted some makeup from my husband and my son. So I have some new stuff, but I don't even know how I'm going to do an update for my Project Rehab series because I can't even remember everything that I purchased because it was one of those where I was feeling emotional. I've been really just not in the best of places, and if I wanted something, I just bought it. And it's not that I necessarily regret having done that, but at the same time, I need to recognize that I've done that and then rein it back in some so that I can enjoy and use what I have, because I don't want to get to the point again where, you know, just everything's coming in and nothing's getting used. So my update is going to be sketchy, perhaps, if I can't find or remember everything that I bought. But I can basically guarantee you that I'm going to have 0 credits left and I'm going to be in the negative. That's just, I can already feel it in my bones. So while we're on the topic of future videos, let's talk about all of my project pans, because you guys know I am participating in a lot of different projects. I love project panning, but I'm very behind. This is actually the first time I've applied makeup since filming that video last Monday. So I don't really have a good system as far as applying makeup. I haven't had any time because, again, life has been absolutely crazy. What did I do with that bronzer? Oh, there it is. Couldn't see it past my cup. Life has been super, super crazy, so I really haven't had a lot of time to do it, but also the way that life kind of worked before, because my son, his daycare was right next to our old house. I mean, trying to get there and back 15 minutes, and that's if I, you know, was chit-chatting with his teachers. Yeah, it was super close. It's now round trip to get there and back is almost an hour. So before, we could get him dropped off at school, and then I could apply my makeup before getting the girls up in the morning. And that worked really, really well. But that's just not the case anymore, because by the time I get back, the girls are already awake and I need to give them breakfast and my husband has to start work. So I'm not really sure how that's going to kind of play out. I'm gonna find a rhythm that works, but it might take a little bit of kind of zhuzhing, so to speak, until I can figure out what's gonna work. So I also didn't wear makeup for basically a month. So I don't even know like if I'm going to update anything yet, or if I'm just going to continue my unscheduled break and just start fresh with the updates in July. Let me know what you guys think, because some of my updates didn't even get done in May. Nothing got updated in June. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel conflicted because it will have been like a 3-month update and there will be like no progress, or not no progress, but a progress that doesn't really kind of line up with the amount of time that has gone by. So let me know, do you guys want me to try to get stuff updated before July, or do you want me to just start fresh in July like the past 2 months never happened? Please let me know. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say. Also, thank you so much for all of the wonderful comments on that last video talking about everything that's been going on with the house. You guys are all so sweet and so kind. I got some really fantastic comments, some really fantastic suggestions, and I 100% appreciate them so much. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm gonna hop off camera real quick. I'm gonna do eyeliner, brows, mascara, all that kind of good stuff, and then come back and wrap it all up for you. All right, so this is everything completed, and I have to say, it came out really, really nicely. This is not something that was on my radar and not something that I would have picked up for myself, but as usual, my kid has impeccable taste. I don't know, but he's pretty incredible. So just to kind of wrap things back up again, I miss you guys, and I thank you so much for all of the sweet, kind comments that you have got left for me, and I'm really excited and happy to hopefully get back into the swing of things and start posting more regularly, both here and on Instagram, and just, you know, keep the love coming, because I need it. I need the love and support right now. And I'll continue to update you on how everything goes in the house and how things kind of progress. Fingers crossed we're over the biggest hurdle and all that's left is to replace everything, and then hopefully the drama can be over. But, you know, we'll wait and see. Let me know what you want to see from me, whether it be obviously panning content, which is what I do the most of, but anything else you guys want to see, lifestyle tutorials, all that kind of good stuff, let me know in the comments. My battery light is blinking, so I will wrap it up. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.